So this Sunday, Jose Mourinho returns to Stamford Bridge once again, as his Manchester United side take on a battered Chelsea, nursing their wounds after a 3-0 hammering from Roma in midweek. As for the Red Devils, they're doing their best to keep rivals Man City in arm's reach, as they look to claim their first Premier League trophy since Sir Alex Ferguson left the club. Current boss Jose Mourinho has won the title 3 times in his career, all of which came during his 2 spells at Chelsea. So as the special one prepares for another emotional homecoming, let's go back to 2004 when he arrived in England and look at his first competitive game as Chelsea boss, a 1-0 win over his current side Manchester United, looking at who started for Mourinho and where they are now. In goal was Petr Cech. The stopper had arrived at the club that summer from Rennes and immediately made his Premier League debut after a pre-season injury to Carlo Cudicini, quickly establishing himself as Mourinho's number 1 by keeping a clean sheet on his debut. The Czech Republic international spent 11 years with Chelsea that saw 4 Premier Leagues, a Champions League, Europa League, 4 FA Cups, 3 League Cups and 1 severe head injury before he headed to Arsenal in 2015 after being ousted by the younger Thibaut Courtois. Still with the Gunners, Cech isn't going to be adding to his 4 Premier League titles anytime soon. At right back was Paulo Ferreira. Another debutant, Jose Mourinho bought Paulo Ferreira as well as Ricardo Carvalho with him to Stamford Bridge from Porto, with the right back costing just over £13 million. Ferreira spent 9 years with the Blues and had an incredible start to his career before fading in the latter years, with his best football coming under Mourinho. The Portuguese fullback retired in 2013 and became a Chelsea ambassador as well as the assistant loan player technical coach, which doesn't even sound like a real job. Centre back was John Terry. Almost a one-club man, John Terry lived through every minute of Jose Mourinho's reigns at Stamford Bridge, captaining the side ever since the special one arrived, right through to his departure this summer, ending his time with Chelsea having captained them to 5 Premier League titles. Not everyone's favourite bloke around, Terry is still playing at the age of 36, having joined Championship side Aston Villa, with the centre-half unwilling to play for a Premier League club and have to come up against Chelsea. Noble or tragic, you decide. He was alongside William Gallas. A versatile defender, Gallas was deployed at both centre-back and left-back, but was at the heart of the defence for Mourinho's first Chelsea game, with John Terry's eventual partner Ricardo Carvalho sitting on the bench. Gallas' time with Chelsea ended on a sour note, with the Frenchman claiming he wasn't being offered enough money, threatening to score own goals and wanting to go to Italy, before he signed for Arsenal as part of the deal that saw Ashley Cole go the other way. Clearly a man with no allegiances, Gallas swapped Arsenal for Tottenham in 2010, spending 3 years at White Hart Lane before joining Perth Glory, where he retired in 2014. Gallas now does work with French TV and recently appeared in the Star Sixers tournament for France this summer, which they won. At left back was Wayne Bridge. I don't know who Wayne Bridge's best friend was in this back four, but I can tell you who it wasn't. Bridge left Chelsea in 2009 to join newly rich Manchester City, which led to the infamous handshake snub when they took on Chelsea, as Bridge ignored former teammate Terry due to allegations that the Chelsea captain had had an affair with Bridge's ex-missus. After that debacle, Bridge would go on to have loan spells with West Ham, Sunderland and Brighton before signing for Reading in 2013, retiring a year later. Now married to Frankie from the Saturdays, Bridge appeared in last year's series of I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, coming 5th behind a hockey player, an actor, a comedian and a girl who you watched watching telly. In midfield was Jeremy. The Cameroonian spent 4 years with Chelsea and was hailed by Mourinho for his versatility and work ethic. He would join Newcastle in 2007 and was made captain, only to lose the armband once Kevin Keegan returned to the club, and he left midway through the Magpies' season in the Championship after suffering relegation in 2009. Jeremy went on to play for a team in Ankara in Turkey whose name I'm not going to embarrass myself trying to say, and then AA Larissa in Greece, where he was released in January 2011. Nowadays, Jeremy is the African representative on the Council for the World Players Union. Up next was Claude Makélélé. So good he had his own position named after him, Claude Makélélé was the ultimate holding midfielder, way before N'Golo Kante knew even how to kick a ball, and was a key player under Mourinho as he won the title in his first season. Makélélé remained with Chelsea until 2008, heading back to France to join PSG for 3 seasons, making 98 league appearances before retiring in 2011. He has since moved into coaching, working as assistant to Carlo Ancelotti at PSG, head coach at Bastia, technical director at Monaco, and now assistant coach at Swansea City. Next in midfield was Frank Lampard. Chelsea's all-time leading goalscorer, Frank Lampard is one of the best midfielders in Premier League history, scoring 211 goals for the club. He left in 2014 and was set to head to the MLS to join New York City before signing for Man City as a free agent until the end of the season, then heading stateside once his contract in Manchester ended. The midfielder was initially hammered by the media in America, but scored 12 goals in 19 appearances in his second season, retiring at the start of 2017. Lampard is currently a team captain on ITV's game show Play to the Whistle, which, if you haven't seen it, is basically just a terrible version of A League of Their Own. Next in midfield was Alexis Smirton. A surprise name in Jose Mourinho's first Chelsea 11, Alexis Smirton had been signed by Claudio Ranieri the year before, but spent the season on loan at Portsmouth, only to find out that the Italian had been replaced by the moody Mourinho by the time he returned. A bit-part player for Chelsea during the season, Smirton joined Charlton on loan the following year, and then signed for Dynamo Moscow for £1 million in March 2006. It wasn't long before the Russian was released and he was back in England, joining Fulham in 2007, but after just one season, with opportunities limited at Craven Cottage, he left. Nowadays, Smirton has been named as the Russian Football Union Anti-Racism and Discrimination Inspector ahead of the 2018 World Cup, which again, doesn't sound like a real job. Up front was Eidur Gudjohnsen. The scorer of the only goal in Chelsea's 1-0 win over Manchester United in Jose Mourinho's first game, Eidur Gudjohnsen seems to have played for absolutely everyone and anyone since leaving Stamford Bridge in 2006. Here we go. He's played for Barcelona, Monaco, Tottenham, Stoke, Fulham, AEK Athens, Cercle Bruges, Club Bruges, Bolton Wanderers, Suzhou Everbright and Norwegian side Molde, retiring in September 2017, which is a surprise since Iceland have a World Cup on the horizon. And finally we've got Didier Drogba. The Ivory Coast forward cost Chelsea £24 million in the summer of 2004, and Drogba made his debut in the victory over Man United, but had to wait until his third game to get his first Chelsea goal, the first of many to come across two spells with the club. His first spell at Chelsea came to an end with him sinking the winning penalty in the Champions League final against Bayern Munich, and his second spell ended with him being carried off the pitch by his teammates due to injury, as Chelsea secured another Premier League title. In between his two spells with Chelsea, Drogba played for Shanghai Shenhua and Galatasaray, and afterwards signed for Montreal Impact and is still going now with Phoenix Rising, who he actually owns, playing alongside Peter Ramage and Sean Wright-Phillips. So that was the starting 11 from Jose Mourinho's first Chelsea game and where they are now. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and how you think the game will go on Sunday. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.